Hola, buenos dias. Yes, I'm back in Spain again. Yes, I know I was only there a few months ago. I was in Seville in April, I believe it was. But I had this opportunity to come here. I'm actually I'm back in Andalusia again, favourite part of the world, and actually very close to a place that I spent several holidays, Orgivo, which is just up the road from me. I'm in a place called Salobrena, which is right on the coast. Below Granada. If you go to a map and look at Granada, go directly due south and you'll hit Salobrena. It's a great place. It's got this big Moorish castle just over there, unfortunately, which is closed for renovations. But I thought I'd do, you know, the sort of videos that I tend to do when I go to places like this. I've just been in the sea, actually. For those who know me, I'm not a water person, apart from showering and stuff like that. Getting in the water and swimming and stuff like that isn't really my forte. My swimming style has been described as being like a distressed dog. But actually I went in there and I actually swam, not very much, but I actually had a go, so I can manage to do that a little bit. So anyway, but water is absolutely beautiful. It's as, you know, as we say in Blighty, it's as calm as a mill pond. It doesn't really do much else here. So I was actually on this beach yesterday evening. I'm going to get completely out of the loop and go all over the place, off in a tangent. And there are actually fish jumping out of the sea. But so how did I come to be here? I've actually been here before. As a family holiday, as I said, we used to went to Orgiva, just up the road there, which is about half an hour away. And we went there several times. But one year, I think we didn't have a pool or something like that. You know, it sounds a bit good, isn't it? I didn't have a pool. Oh dear, a disaster. But we came down here for the beach, actually on this particular beach, because the castle's right behind you. You've got these lovely little, if I turn round, you might be able to see them over there. The castle's sort of right behind me up there, and you've got these sort of reeds and everything. But in those, I mean, behind there is actually like a whole load of land where they grow sugar cane and stuff like that. But I may talk about that another time. But they've got this equivalent of English beach huts, I suppose, and they're made out of this little structures behind there with all these reeds and bamboo and that. Quite amazing, actually, and a wonderful little outlook. Very quiet beach at the moment. It does get very crowded. But I came to be here because of a friend of my wife's, actually, who owns a house here, but also owns another house a bit further up the road, and she was trying to sell it. So I was trying to help her out, because she's one of these people who doesn't really get the internet and computers and stuff like that. I can't pretend that I'm a genius, but I certainly knew more than what she did. So she asked if I would help her out, so I did, and sort of helped her out on the internet and sort of, you know, putting things up and there and liaising with different people and stuff like that. But then she bought this particular house. The idea is she's trying to sell this other house. That still hasn't happened yet, and if I find a link, I might well try and put it on this video when I get home. So she's still trying to sell that one, but she's now bought this one down here, up in the old part of town. A beautiful little area, because there's a huge hill, and there are photos and stuff like that that'll be about, and I'll try and show a video of it at some time. Up on the hill is where her house is, and that's the sort of the real old part of town. It's very much a white village. You see these white villages in Andalusia and Spain generally, and it's very much typical of that type of thing. And reminds me of another place I went to called Frigliano, I hope I've pronounced that right, which is over near Nerca, more towards Malaga. And very pretty, lots of flowers around and plants, and the bougainvillea everywhere and all this sort of stuff, and the whitewashed houses and the little narrow tiled and paved streets, and they do that very well over here. But there's also a new part to this town as well, just the other side of it. There's a big rock. Actually, if I come around, you might be able to see the rock. Can you see the rock over there? That's the rock. Probably looking at it too, probably looking in completely the wrong direction, actually. But the rock, it sort of divides part of the town, I suppose, and the new town is the other side. There's another beach, and there's beaches all the way up there. But they've done the new town in a very, very nice way. It's really well laid out, and it seems to have been thought about. There's long thoroughfares and boulevards, if you want. There's little parks. One of those things that you get I've noticed in other places in Spain. Loads of little parks everywhere. I suppose it's the outdoor lifestyle, the al fresco living, and all that sort of stuff. Fair enough. That's what people do, you know, when it's like this at sort of 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and people are still on the beach here like I was after 8:30 last night, because it's still nice and pleasant to sit here and do so. But there's little parks everywhere, and one of the things that they also have here, and I noticed it I think it's actually like a policy, whether it's just like an Andalusian policy or a Spanish policy. They have within these parks. They have little exercise things. They look like little sculptures, some of them, but they're actually exercise machines. I have seen it in Britain as well, but I first saw it over here, and they are designed for the older population, not the youngsters. These are for the older people to sort of get on with these things and do little, not strenuous exercises, but sort of repetitions of things. I've seen people using them, and what a great idea that is. And also, I mean, the older people, once again, it's the lifestyle and everything, but they're all up there biking, they're walking, perambulating, if you want that, in groups. And you get even the older women, you know, I wouldn't like to guess their ages, they're out in their trainers walking up and down the promenade or up and down the boulevards and things like that. That's what happens when you lay things out properly. And it's just been very tastefully done, a real nice sort of mixture of the old and the new. One side isn't sort of garish against the other, they do blend and mix perfectly. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to probably talk a bit about what I've been doing and a bit more about why I'm here and all that type of stuff in another video. But I'll leave it with you. That over there behind us, another white village. I walked along the back of this beach here yesterday. That's a place called La Caleta. Not very far away at all, but another nice little white village. You can see the sort of idea down the hills. And if I come around that way, I don't think probably won't be able to see it. It's probably around a bit further down that way. No. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. I'll leave it there and go back in the sea, I think, because it's warming up again. I'll speak to you again soon. Adios.